All right, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So quickly, wait, everybody, all right, Ini, you still have your files from class, right? Your about page and your home page.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hold on, I'm going to need you to share your screen. I want you to start sharing to my computer, but before we would start sharing screen, I want to ask, all right, what have you learned so far in the next class? What do you think you know how to do? Tell me what you think you know how to do. Tell me about the element you have learned. All right, there. My computer is not working. All right, you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. Hello, sorry, I'm listening to you.
Learn how to create a navigation bar.
You learned how to create a navigation bar. Okay. What
I learned
else?
how to add image.
Okay. What else? Is that all?
No.
What's the
I learned how to make a hoverable table.
okay? Go on,
I've
I'm
learned how to
still
do
trying
a
to
website layout.
You learned how to build a what?
I've learned how to do a website layout.
Okay. No wahala. Ini, what about you? What have you learned so far?
I've learned how to put a header, navigation bar, an about page, images, a footer.
All right. So what about Ola? Does Ola have any knowledge in it, or it's just starting? I just want to know where. Ola, did you join the last class at all? Ola, Ola, are you there?
Yes.
I'm asking, did you learn anything from? Were you able to learn anything at all from the last class, or you
Yes.
were not around? All right, no problem. Ola, please share your screen, share your about page and your home page from before. Go to your VS Code. Does Ola have VS Code?
No, ma'am.
It doesn't have VS Code. Okay, so after the class, you are going to download VS Code for him. That's going to be his assignment for today. He will download VS Code. So please share your screen. Can you share your screen in Ulua? I mean Olaoluwa, because I know that yes, Olaoluwa, please share your screen. Olaoluwa, I'm waiting for you.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, I can I can see you. That's a lot. I can see. So your VS Code, please. I want you to open your about page.
Excuse me, I don't have VS Code.
Yes, your brother is going to, Iniolua is going to download it for you after the class. He's going to show you. Iniolua, I will send you the link where you will download it, okay?
Okay.
All right, Iniolua, I'm waiting for you. Are you having problem?
Oh, is it me?
Yes, now, no, Oreoluwa, I want him to share his about page. I just want us to do a quick revision on VS Code. I just want him to open his VS Code. So please, Ore, we're waiting for you to share your screen and share your VS Code. Okay. Okay, your screen is loading. Okay. Okay, thank you. So this is your about page.
Yes, my still loading.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to take control of your screen. We're just going to have, what's it called? Let me just see where you guys are, what I need to focus more on. And then we'll quickly do a mini revision for Olaoluwa. So quickly, you know that this is your head element, right? We know that if you're going to open a HTML document, you must have your head. So you must have your head elements there. So these ones are all like a rule, they're all follow come. So you see this piece of code, let me highlight it. This, like your system is hanging. So you see this piece of code I just highlighted, do you know what it's for? Oreoluwa, do you know what it's for?
No more.
Iniolua, do you know what it is for?
Yes,
Yes, do you know what it's for?
it's a link.
I know it's a link, but what's this link for?
For like app logo.
Okay, you almost got it. So it's for icons. Okay, it's for, like, if you want to put Facebook icon, or you want to put although we're still going to dive more into it, I'm still going to touch on it, but it's for putting logos and icons especially. All right, and I will show you how that works later. We all aside from Olaoluwa, everybody knows what this is, right? Let me highlight the second one. We all know what this is for, right? Iniolua, Oreoluwa.
Yes.
What is that for?
It's the link between livescore.css and about.html.
Exactly. What this simply means is that this file that we're looking at now is a HTML file. Now we can decide to write our CSS inside this same file if we want to. Our CSS is in an external file, is here. So these are two different files. This one is for CSS. As you can see, it's only CSS that is here. There's no HTML. So this is CSS, and then this is about.html. So in order for you to link it, because if you don't put this, that CSS will not reflect here. So you have to link it. The CSS will not reflect on this file. If you remove this link now and you go and check your browser, you will see that there is no styling at all. It will just have all these words. It will not have the styling. It will not have the colors and everything that it has right now. So that is what this one is for. If your CSS is in a different file and you want it to work, you have to link it to your HTML, and this is your HTML. All right. Okay. So let's keep going. Do we know what a div is? You know what is a div? You know what is a div?
Mom, come in. I want to check my.
Okay. No, don't worry. It's just, okay, check it. This is revision anyway. Who is checking? Is it Oreo in that is checking his notes?
It's me.
Okay, Nyolua.
A div is used for style.
Okay. That's Inolua. Oreo, what do you have to say?
Me too, a div is used for style.
A div, okay, you can say it like that. A div is used for client, but it's mostly used for styling, but it's mostly used to add classes to things. And we'll still go ahead and talk about classes. So these are just some things that we have learned in the past class that we're still going to do again. No, I didn't even know if I was going to be teaching you guys today, but let's just use today as what's it called, revision, and tomorrow we start proper, specifically for the sake of Olaoluwa. All right, so Ini, you can stop sharing now. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, please. I'm going to be trying to set up something on my end here. Okay. Okay, so let me start from the beginning here. So HTML is the standard makeup language for web pages, okay? Now there is HTML and there is CSS, which is what we're going to learn in this class. Olaolu, I hope you are listening. Olaolu, because this is for your benefit though. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a web page right now. When you think of a web page, right, think of you know, or when you think of a website, think of a website like a book, right? You know, a book has different pages, right? So a website is like a book. A web page is like a page in that book. Do you understand? Now, this particular website we are looking at, this is W3 Website School. You can see it, w3school.com. This is the website. Now, this is the HTML page of the website. You know, when you're using your books, right? You can turn to different pages. For instance, your teacher can come. Sorry, hold on. She So, when you're with your book, your teacher can just say, open to page 20. Open to page 20. You can quickly scroll to page 20. When it comes to website, we don't use pages. What we use pages because this is a web page. But instead of using page 20 or page whatever, we use address or we use links. For instance, this is the HTML page, right? Now, how do you get this page? This is the address. This place right here, this link is the address of the page, right? Now, let's assume that, let me copy this place like this. All right. Now, if I copy it and I go to a fresh browser, okay, this is a new browser. And because I already know the page, maybe I'm looking for the HTML page because, let me go back here. Because in this website, there are lots of pages. This is the home page. This is the HTML page, right? This is the CSS page. This is on our page. It's still on the website, though, just like you have different pages on your book. A website is usually plenty pages. Sometimes it is just one page, sometimes it's just two pages, sometimes it's plenty. This one here, you can see that they have plenty, right? This is even their navigation bar. See, they have plenty pages. Plenty pages. Do you understand? And most of them are on their navigation bar. So this is their JavaScript page. Now, if I want to go to their HTML page, right? Sorry. If I want to go to their HTML page, right? Because I know the address of their HTML page, all I need to go is go to my browser, type their address, and if I click like this, it will take me straight to the HTML page. You see, the green is on HTML. That signifies that, okay, oh, this is the HTML page. And that is because I know the address, the link address of it. So that is what that's all about web pages. So HTML is the standard markup language for web pages. Now, this entire, as big as this website is now, it has HTML elements in it. They are the ones that help you write a page. Of course, all this styling, all this green, black, this all this green, black, the way this one is in this place, this one is in this place, this one is, all this are as a result of CSS. But you see the write-up themselves, this particular write-up, this is a paragraph. It was written with a paragraph element. They are all made up of HTML elements. With HTML, you can create your own websites. All right. Now let us go here. So this is a typical, this is like a web page. This is like a web page. We typically use VS Code, but for most of the classes, we used to use these browsers, this W3 School browser. I'm sure Ore and Ini, they are familiar with it. Ore might be the only one that it is strange to. All right, so this is like a typical page. All right, now you can see they have some elements in it. You have a heading element and you have a paragraph element, and we'll come to that very soon. All right, but let's keep going. Okay. So I already said what HTML is. HTML describes the structure of a web page. It consists of a series of elements. So those elements, for instance, you already have, if you check, I'm sure if you check your personal project that you did in last month, you would see your header, you would see your footer, you will see your content and everything. So that is what it is. Actually HTML, you use and write header, right? You open a header class. Oh, actually it is class rather. Do you understand? More basically, what you should know is that HTML describes the structure of a web page with a series of elements, and then you use CSS to style it to make it final. To make it final. So elements always tell the browser how to display the content. If, for instance, you know, here, I tell the browser, make this my first heading, make this a H1. H1 means is a heading, is a very important heading. So you can see that's why the paragraph, the browser made it bigger. This right here is where you put your code. This right here represents the browser. Are we understanding? Are we understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Ah, you are not answering me. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what have I said so far? Ini, can you tell me what I have said so far? If you were. Ini, I'm waiting. No.
Ma, you
I said, can
talked
you tell me what
about
I said?
headers and paragraph.
Headers and what? Ini headers and what?
Excuse me, ma, you've talked about headers and HTML documents.
Thank you. Thank you. Olaoluwa, what about, is that who talked just now?
Oreoluwa.
Olaoluwa, thank you, my darling. Olaoluwa, are you there?
Ma.
Okay, so what have you understood so far?
I understand how to make a heading.
Okay, thank you, my darling. That's something. So yes, as I was saying, oh sorry, I need to pause my charger. So HTML tells the browser how you want it to display your content. Traditionally, you write your code in VS Code, but we're writing our code in this code editor here. We're not using VS Code yet. Tomorrow, we might use VS Code. So now, I told the browser to write this as a heading. I told the browser to write this as a paragraph, right? So that's why you can see the heading is bigger and the paragraph is smaller. All right. You know, if you're in school and your teacher wants to write a heading, the heading is always very big, it's always the bigger one, and then you underline it, that is your heading. But for web pages, this is how it looks like. You can decide to underline it if you want to. We'll talk about all of that later. All right. So if you can see, or if you check most of your projects, sorry, hold on. Sorry, hold on. No. I'm trying to fix my system. Stop. Okay. Hold on. So if you look at when
Ma, I think your screen is frozen.
is what?
I think it's frozen.
Oh, can you see my mouse moving?
Yes, no.
Okay, thank you. So if you check if you check your code still on VS Code, you see this thing here, HTML doc type, right?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means the declarator defines that this document is an HTML5 document.
Very correct. That's how the browser knows that, okay, oh, this is a web page. This is a HTML5 document, all right? You will also see this HTML thing there. HTML is just like you letting it know that, okay, oh, this is really, really HTML document. Do you understand? I mean, you already stated it here. Do you understand? But you also have to let them know that the HTML element is the root element of an HTML page. It's the root element. It's like the, how will I explain it now? Just know it's a very important element. Do you get? Now, the head element, this one, okay? The head element contains meta information about the page. So basically, you already know if you want to link your CSS code, you have to put it in your HTML element. Do you understand? So it gives information about the HTML page that the browser can understand. By the time you put your root element in your, by the time you put your CSS element inside your head element, you are telling the browser that, okay, oh, this particular HTML page, the CSS is in a different file, and this is where it is. It's also where you also put some other things like the title. Can I share my VS Code? Let me see. Yes. So you can see this is my head element here. This is an advanced coding, so don't worry about the plenty things, but this is my head element here. You can see different informations here. You can see the title. This place is a music app. I'm building a music app. So that's information about what I am building. These are all links to different things that I am using. This is the link to my CSS. So when we do font awesome, you also link your font awesome. So it's just telling the browser certain things about the HTML file. So now you have the title. The title element specifies a title for the HTML page, which is shown in the browser title. For instance, let me see if I can find out my music app. All right, yeah. So you can see right here, it shows that it's the music. Oh, it's not even showing here. Let me see. Okay. So because my own site is not hosted, you cannot see it. But basically, this is what will appear here. The title will also be part of what is appearing in the browser. All right. Now you have the body element. The body element defines the document of the body. Like it is where, that's why I always tell you that if you want to write your code must be in your body. Any code you are writing for must be inside your body, between the opening tag of your body and the closing tag of the body. What did I say? What did I say? Oh,
You said that your code must be in the body element.
It must be in the body. So, let's go with that. Thank you. So that's all about the body. Is a container for all the visible content, such as your headings, your paragraph, your image, your links, your tables, everything. And we'll still touch on those things. So we also have the H1 element. The H1 element is for a very large heading. Now I want to say it because you guys were making the same mistake in the last class. Every page must have a H1, and you can only have one H1 on a page. That's why if you want to do more than one heading, for instance, let me see if I can find an example. Okay, let me use this one. You see this R and B hits here. This is a heading. You can see it's big. This one is small, so you can tell that it's a paragraph. Now this is a H1. Now there is also another heading here. All right. Now it's a heading, but because I already have a H1, yeah, I can't use H1 again. So for this one, I'll either use H2 or H3, or it is up to H6. All right. Do we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we get that?
Yes. Yes.
Apologies, I'm eating. I'm very hungry. If I don't eat, I won't be able to talk. All right. Back to class. So, what really is an HTML element? And I'm doing all this revision for Olalua because the rest of you don't really need it. An HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content, and then an end tag, okay? For instance, this is a tag, this is the start tag for headings. This is the start tag for HTML1. So you can see the content here, and now this is the closing tag. Let's come to the browser. You see there's H1, let me make it bigger if I can. All right. So you see there's H1 here. You can see the opening tag here. You can see the content that is there, my first heading. You can see the closing tag. This paragraph, you can see the opening tag. The difference between the open and the closing tag is this slash that is here. If you're going to close your element, you have to use slash. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you check the browser, you can see the content is what is going to be displayed on the browser. The elements are not going to show. It's only the content inside the elements that are going to show. Okay. Okay. So there are a lot of elements that we're going to talk about. I think we should go there now. Web browser. Okay, you already know what a web browser is. We are using web browser already. So let me go to the next one. Okay. So for we were using VS Code, but there are different things that you can use to learn coding or where you can write code. This is a notepad. This is an online browser notepad. But we'll be using more of VS Code to write our own. The reason why I like this is because this one is showing, as I'm writing it in the browser, as I'm writing it here, you can see it here. For VS Code, we have to go into the browser up and down. That's the problem with VS Code. But you can also use online browsers like this if you want to for practice. All right. So that's all about editors. Now let's go to the HTML basics. Okay. Let's start with headings. So we already talked about headings. Like I said, when you're in school and you're writing notes, because like I said, a web page is just like a book, right? Where you can find plenty things. Now, I'm very sure that in your books in school, you usually have headings, right or wrong?
Right.
Exactly. In code, when we're writing for a website, there's usually a heading. And like I said, there's always one big HTML, one H1. You can see right here. This is the heading here on this page, HTML. All right.
All right.
Because that's what the page is about. It's about HTML heading. So this is one. That's not even it. Oh, sorry. This is a H1. This is also another heading, but because they've used the H1 here, they have to use a H2 here. You can see that it's smaller because, like I said, you can only have one heading on a page. That's right. You can only have one heading on a page. So you can see they did it here. So, and I told you that headings are up to 6. Heading 6. You see heading 1, heading 2. So if you use heading 1, you have used your H1 already on one page and you want to write other headings, it is better you use any from 2 to 6. Do you understand? 6 is the smaller headings. Or you can use them as subheadings. They work as subheadings a lot. Do we understand?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Are you sure? Because I will
Yes.
ask questions when we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me, is it only the 3 of us that is in this class?
Yes, it's just the 3 of you. Why? You don't like it?
Like it?
You want to Remedy to be disturbing you?
No.
Okay. So what did I say about headings? How many H1 can you use on a page?
1.
Okay. If you use H1 and then you want to write another heading, what do you use?
You use other subheadings like H2, H3, H4, H5, and
Clap for
H6.
yourself. The boy. Now let's talk about
It's supposed to be Ola that is supposed to answer.
Ola Abi. Ola will answer the next question. Ola will answer the next question. No worry. So that's all about H1. Now there's also paragraph. Before I move on, let me make it clear. You can see that the opening tag for a heading is H1. You can see the closing tag. You can see the one for H2. You can see the one for H3. All right. So take note of it because you are going to be writing it a lot. So take note of how it is written. All right. Fine. So now let's go to paragraphs. Most HTML are written alike. You can see even the paragraph is almost the same. I'm seeing a comment in there. I'm seeing a chat. Oh, Inedu, are you back from the restroom?
No, I want to go.
All right, go, go, go. You already know all these ones now.
Yeah, also me.
What?
I'm a meeting.
It's just the time. Maybe we should go on a small break. So that everybody is going on break. Want to go and all right, we're going to take a 10 minutes break. We'll come back at 10:55. So everybody go and use the restroom.
Okay.
My students back. Are we back? Are we back?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Is everybody back now?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, fine. So we're talking about paragraph. So paragraph is another way to write. So if I tell you should write a web page about yourself, you give me a heading and the paragraph. You already know how to do that. Okay. So, and I'm doing this for Laura because he's going to download VS Code, and this is going to be his assignment. His first assignment is going to be about myself. Okay. And then you write my name is Ola Olua, and then you write more paragraphs. Your brothers will teach you. All right. Oh, I spelled myself wrong. Yes. All right. So now we have HTML links. So if you go to certain websites, for those of us that go to certain websites, oh Jesus, sorry. Hold on. So if you go to certain websites and you see something colored like this, is usually a link. Now, what is a link? A link is something that leads. Like I said, when it comes to websites, we don't use page numbers. We use address or links. All right. This link now is going to www.streetschool.com. Yolua and Orelua already know this, but for the sake of Olaoluwa, I'm going to write it again. So when you want to write a link, use the A element. The A element is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. All right, Olaoluwa, let me shift it. This is the opening tag. Let me write it from the beginning. You press your bracket, you put your A. A is the element for links. You close it. Now you open another bracket, you put your A, and then you close it. All right, so now this is a link. It is a link, but if I run it like this, you see nothing is showing because there are certain things that you must do. So the first thing you want to do, you have to tell the browser where is the link going to. All right, you have to tell the browser where is this link going to, and how do you do that? Use your href. All right. Oh, sorry. You put a space and then use your href. Right. Href is equal to. You put your the apostrophe, I'm going to call it now, or your quotation mark like this. Now, let's assume I want to put a link to YouTube. Let me go to YouTube and copy the YouTube link. YouTube.com. Okay, so this is YouTube. Let me copy it because you must copy the link, the address of where you want that link to go to. All right. So we'll come here. This YouTube, I've copied it. Sorry, my laptop is hanging now. All right, it's back. So we're going to YouTube. I'm going to paste that link here. Sorry. So I'm going to paste that link here, and I'm going to close it with an apostrophe. So one thing you should notice here is that you see I wrote href, I wrote the equal to. Now you can see this link. You can see a quotation mark at the beginning. You can see a quotation mark at the end. If you don't do that, it won't work. Okay? So it's important that you put that quotation mark there. Olaoluwa, are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So if I run it like this, right, it's still not going to work. Why? Because you have not put anything to display in the browser. What you should know that whatever you put inside the element is not going to show in the browser. It is what you put in between the elements here. This bracket is the one that closes this opening side. And now so it is what you put in this space here. For instance, now I'm going to write something now. This is a YouTube link. I'm going to put it here. This is a YouTube link. All right. Now, if I run it, I have to put a line break. Just hold on. BR. Aha. I want to separate it very well. Just ignore this BR for now and focus on the links. So you can see it. You see your opening elements here, A. You see that you have to write the where the link is, and the way to write the address of the page you are linking to is to use href. Href is equals to, you are going to put the link, okay, the address link of that page. So now this is for YouTube, and this is YouTube address www.youtube.com. It's important that you start with HTTPS, because normally a lot of us go to YouTube like this, just www.youtube.com. All right, but it's important to put this HTTPS. This HTTPS also comes with the link as well. But if you are using it in any browser, if you are going to, this is a code editor, so we must add this one. But if you are going to any normal browser, you can just always press www.youtube.com and it will open. But if you want the link to open when somebody clicks on it, you have to write it like, you have to put the HTTPS, this stuff right here. Otherwise, it won't work, and I will show you. So you can see the apostrophe mark here. The quotation mark here and the quotation mark here. Is important that you do it like that. Now, this is what will show in the browser. This is a YouTube link. That's the thing that will show in the browser. But the browser will understand that, okay, so when somebody clicks on this, I should take them to YouTube because you already said it here. All right, and then you close it. So now what that happens, let me run that. What that happens is that you see this is the only visible place that shows this is a YouTube link. All right. So now if I click it like this, let me make it open in a different page. Are we following?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. I'll explain what that target means right now. Let me see. Okay. This editor here cannot open YouTube. So after you've written it like this, now because we are using an online editor, let me remove this target blank first. So if you write it like this, your link will go. But what it means is that your link will open on that same page that you are opening, that you are on. Let me see if I can find an example. Let me see if I can find an example. Trying to find an example. Let me see this. Okay, for instance, now I'm on this page, right? This is where I am. You can see where I am here in the browser. You can see this is where I am. This lady that you're seeing up is where I am. Now, if I don't put on the target underscore blank, if I open a page like this, if I click on this, this is a link. This is also a link. Let me use this. This is also a link. So if I click on it like this, you see, it's opening in the same browser. This is where it was before, because this was here, this was here. If I go like this is another link. If I click on it, it's still in the same place, right? That is because and that is what happens when you use a link like this. You understand? It opens in the same place. Now, if I use this target underscore blank, this is what will happen when you open a page. What will happen is that it will start opening like this. You see, it has opened another one here. This is where we were before. Before it was just this lady in the middle and this one here. But because I opened it in a new tab, you can see that we now have to, it will open in a different place entirely. That's what happened here when I use this underscore blank. I mean, if I don't put this underscore blank, it won't open in this browser here, because this browser cannot open YouTube. So it will be telling you the link is not going. Let me remove it so that you see. It will tell you that the link is not going because this browser cannot open YouTube. Do we understand?
Yes, I understand. I don't
Let me run it again. So if I try to open it here, so it's going to tell me error. It's giving me an error. But if we were using normal VS Code will work and it will open in the browser, in the same browser. But now that I have already put a target is equals to underscore blank, when I open it like this, let me run it. My phone, my laptop. See, now it's in a different browser and it's opening. Do we understand?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Olaoluwa, what is the A element used for? Olaoluwa. Olaoluwa.
A element is used for links.
Very good. And you've seen how I wrote the links, right?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So we can leave the link now. So let's talk about images, how to put images online. All right. So what we use to put image is, we use the image element. This is the image element. Let me do like this. Yes. Okay. So this is the image element. Now, just like links, links lead to somewhere, lead to an address. When it comes to putting images now, an image is not going to drop from the sky. So the image will probably be on your computer, or the image will be on another on another website. For instance, let me go and look for an image I want to copy from another website. Let me look for an image. Okay, let's say you have seen this doll baby with a laptop here. There's not an image. Let's go and look for a picture. Let's go and look for somebody's picture online. So I'm trying to look for a picture. I'm trying to look for a picture. Okay, let me check here. All right. So you see this picture. Let's assume I want to put this picture on my web page, right? I can just come here and I will copy the image address. Remember, I told you when it comes to websites, we use address. Now, this is a picture on a web page somewhere. Do you understand? And I want to copy this picture. I'm not going to use page 54 or whatever. I'm going to use the address of the picture. So if I come here, if I right click on it, it will show me copy image address because this is where the image is. So all I need to do is click on it, copy image address, and then I'll go back to my VS Code. Now you can see this SRC here. It's just like href in links. All right. But the difference is that SRC tells the browser, okay, this is the picture you should use because this is let me put the address of the picture here. All right, you can see it's very long. Because we copied it from there, it's very long. Now, this is the address of the picture of the picture I want to use. So you have to put it, it's just like you're writing href. You write your equals to, you can see the opening quotation mark and then the closing quotation mark. All right. Do we understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes.
what did I say the source is? The SRC. What did I say it is? Hmm? What did I say SRC is?
The SRC is like the source.
Is a
It's
source.
a source
Is a
where
source
you
for where you have to put the address.
The SRC is the source of the image, is the address of the image. It is where the image is, all right? That's why it's called the source. It is where the image is, right? That's the SRC. Now you can see this thing right here that is called ALT, alternate text. That's the meaning. It means what? Alternate text. Can we say that? Can we say alternate text?
Alternate text.
alternate text.
All right. So now this alternate text, in case there is a problem, assuming there is a problem, maybe your web address link is broken, and I'll show you an example. For instead of the browser not to be able to display the picture, the browser will display the alternate text. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm saying. So in this place here, I'm going to write Itohan's picture because that's what is there. Miss Itohan's picture. Write it there. Miss Itohan's. Please, who is drawing on my screen? What, we don't do drawings here, please. Can you remove it? You're drawing now, you're not listening. If I ask you a question now, you tell me you won't be able to talk. Let me go and first disable you from drawing.
My is alright.
Alright, why are you drawing? Anyways, let's go. So now that we have put the source and we have put the ALT, let me show you what it will now show like. All right, let me run this. You can see my picture is now there. All right, let me expand it. And see now my picture is there. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay. So now let me show you what this ALT text is for. Let me write Miss Itohan's picture. All right. Now let's assume there was a mistake in this my link. Let me delete some things now so that it will be a mistake. Now, obviously, it's not showing, there is not a mistake. The web address is not complete. And if the web address is not complete, it will not go. It's just like you want to go to youtube.com and you only type maybe TU, you do not put the tube at the end. You only typed it like this. Do you understand? And you now say .com. If you do it like this, you will see what it will tell you.
Excuse me, my brother Olaoluwa is joining.
Yes.
Ola is
Yes,
joining.
Already you were saying something. Ola is what?
He went to his laptop and did it.
Oh God. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ola, please, let's listen in class, please. All right. So if you can see what it's telling me, saying youtube.com cannot is wrong. The site cannot be reached because it doesn't exist. You have already made a mistake in the name. So it's important that when you're copying a website link or a website address, you copy it correctly. Here, I have made a mistake now. And now if I run this code, what will happen is that you see it is the ALT text that will show Miss Itohan's picture because there's a mistake in the page. So when you see things like this online, just know, oh, there's supposed to be a picture there, but there was a mistake and now it looks like this. Tomorrow, when we start doing VS Code, I will show you how to do it from your file. But Olaoluwa, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that is it. Okay, let me see. I've explained all this one. So one thing you should always know. So one thing you should always know is that you must always write your end tag or your closing tag. Now, this is a code that doesn't have a closing tag. This is a code that doesn't have a closing tag. So if I run it like this, although it's still showing, but this is wrong. All right, this is wrong. Anything can go wrong like this. You should always make sure that you always put your closing tag. You open your bracket, you press your slash, you put your element name, and then you close it. This is the proper way to write it. If you write sorry, I accidentally muted. I didn't even know I muted. So I was saying that it is important that you write your closing tag. It's very important. Sometimes it can lead to mistake, sometimes it can lead to error. It's because this is a very small write-up now. It might look as a problem. So always make sure that you close your tag. Is that understood? Do we understand
Yes.
that? Hello, do we understand that? Okay, very good. You see, they even wrote it here. However, let me see. Some elements will display correctly, even if you forget to add the end tag, which is the paragraph here that yes, it will display correctly, even if you don't put it, but it's wrong, always put it. However, never rely on this. Unexpected results and error may occur if you forget the end tag. It will just appear very funny if care is not taken. So just be on the safe place, on the safe side, and close your elements. Okay? Very good. Now let's talk about empty HTML elements, right? Let's talk about that. And there is a couple of them. There are a couple of them rather. All right, so let's come here. So now you can see this BR here. Let me remove this BR. Let me cut this BR. Okay. So now this is a paragraph with a line break. It is a sentence that is written with a paragraph. Now maybe I want the next line. If I put this element here, this BR element, watch what happens when I put it. See, it will go down. Do we understand?
Yes.
Do we understand?
Yeah.
I can't hear your network. BR doesn't have a closing tag because you're not writing anything. It's not like you're writing anything in between it. You're just using it to break the line. This line, even this one here, this line break, is still under this closing paragraph. You see, you open a P here and then you close it. You are only breaking the line. That's why this PR is here. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes, we understand. All right, so let me give you another element that doesn't have a closing div like this. Even image doesn't have. What we're doing image, but you see when you're doing all this, you write your ALT text, you also write whether or not you want it to open mail for you. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Am I back? Network was all right. Let me share my. Although I hope you are following and you're not playing, you're not drawing on the screen. All right.
Yes, I'm not drawing.
So you can see that even the image, so all you need to write. Okay. All you need to write is you write your AL alternate text and then you write you tell the browser where you want it to open. Maybe you want it to open on the same browser or not. So another one that has that again is the HR. Let me use this HR. Now, what is HR for? Let me show you. If I run this, you see, this line here is as a result of HR. If I remove this line, let me remove this. You see, the line is no longer there. All right. But if I do it like this, you see, the line is there. Okay. So that is what a HR is for. Do we understand what a HR is for?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we understand what HR is for?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fine. Very fine. So let me see.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do
Yes.
we have assignments today?
Yes. No, only Ola will have assignments. Because today is just about, what's it called? Today is revision.
Mom, please, can you send me the link so that I'll download the VS Code
Don't worry,
file?
I'll send it to you. Don't worry. I'll send it before the end of the class.
Okay.
Just listen. Okay. So that is it about some elements that we should know about. Now let's talk about attributes. All right. Even though I think we should take a break now. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Let me see. But let me quickly explain attributes. So all elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional information about the elements. They are always specified in the stat tag. Simply putting that, this is the way I want to come to. Okay, don't worry, we'll see it. We'll see it here. For instance, the A element that talks about different link, it has an href attribute that specifies the URL or the address of the page and where it goes to. So if you are seeing this one like this now, you can see this is an attribute. This href is an attribute. You see, so this is it. All right. So it's always specified. Oh, I made a mistake here. So you can see it's always specified in the beginning tag here. All right. They don't put it at the end, they put it at the beginning here. So this is one attribute that we should take note of, the href attribute. So the image has the source attribute, which we talk about the other time. So this is the source. All right. So that's the one for the image. We've talked about this. And I will show you what relative and absolute URL is when, because my VS Code is not coming on. I don't know why. So maybe tomorrow. All right. So the image can also contain the width and the height of the image. All right. So let me give you an example of what that is. I'm going to use the picture from here again because this one is very big. So you're seeing, let me make this smaller. 250 by 250. So just follow me. I'm going to explain what it means. All right, so let me first put that picture. I've copied the web address and I'm going to put the picture. All right, so let me cut this out. All right, now this is the picture. We can all agree that it's a very big picture, right?
Yes.
Very big picture. So how do we
Yeah.
can always reduce it from here? We can reduce it using attributes. Okay. So now we can set the width to 250. Right? Your width is equals to 250. Make sure you include your quotation mark. So the width usually means, sorry, excuse me, the width usually means from this side to this side. How wide it is. That's what the width means. Sorry. Okay, I think I should go back. I'll start it again. Okay, so hold on, let me go and copy it again. I made a mistake. So I'll copy image address. All right. So, like I said, that picture was way too. So let me remove. Okay, so this is it. It's too big. Now we can change it from, we can change it using attributes. All right, so let me change it. So you can see the width. So let me give it a width of 250. Now, when I say width, I mean the side, how long, like how large it is from this side to this side. Okay. If I say the height is talking from up to down, and you will see what it means. Let me make the height 400. All right. So if I run this code now, you see, it is now smaller from here to here. It's now smaller. Before it was like this. It was from here to here. But because I've reduced it to 250, it's now from here to here. Now this is still very long. You can see. If I reduce this to, let me say 250. All right. If I reduce this to 250, if I run it, you can see it's now shorter. Do we understand this?
Yes.
All right, Olalu, I have a question for you. How do you reduce the size of a picture if it's too big on the screen? How do you reduce it?
With an eye.
With what?
An eye.
I cannot hear you.
With an eye.
How does width and height work? I'm hearing you already. How does width and height work?
Amount of number.
Okay, no problem, but you get it. So if I ask you to reduce the width and the height, can you do it? Or can you do it?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. All right. So we have talked about the width and the height attribute. I've talked about the ALT attribute, the alternate text attribute, and I said maybe there is a mistake when you are putting your image and your image is not displaying. What will now show the the ALT text, the alternate text. All right. The alternate text should reflect the image content, so users who cannot see the image get an under. And it's also because there are some people who cannot see. They are blind people who use the internet. What they usually use, they use audio a lot. All right. So for instance, now this is a girl with a jacket. So if somebody was using audio to look at a website, right? Because they cannot see the picture, what they will hear is girl with a jacket, and they will understand that okay, the person in the picture is wearing a jacket. So it's very important that your alternate text must reflect what is in the picture, must describe the picture. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What did I say the alternate text must do?
Must it must show what the picture is about.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So one thing you should know, um, Okay. So you have to familiarize yourself with how these things are written. All right. How we're writing, you're seeing the opening tag, you're seeing the closing tag, and all of that, and all of that. So sorry, hold on, give me a moment. Okay, sorry, hold on. Almost done. So back to what we're talking about. We've talked about headings before. And like I said, this is a revision class for the sake of Olaoluwa, and I hope he's listening. So we talked about the different headings. Let me show you again. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6. Okay. So headings are important. Search engines use the headings to index the structure and content of your page. Users often skim a page by its headings. It is important to use headings to show the document structure. Just like when you're writing in class, your teacher uses headings as subheadings to divide your notes into certain things. Is that so?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So she does headings and she also does subheadings. So it is that helps you structure the pages on your book. It will help you to structure your notes. The same goes for coding. All right. It is important to use headings to show a document structure. Head 1 heading should be used for main headings, followed by H2 headings, then less important H3 and so on. So if you've used H1 once, just that, and maybe you feel like, oh, this is an important heading, you can use H2. If you feel that, oh, this is not so important, you can use H3 or H4, or you can use the smallest if you feel like, well, it's not a serious heading like that, you cannot use the H6. Do we understand? But it is important for you to have headings. So you can always specify the size of any heading. All right? Very easy to do that. Now, this is a heading. This is another attribute, just like the width and the height. But this is pretty simple. So maybe this is a very big heading, right? The font here is 60. Let's assume I want to make it a smaller heading of 30. All right. If I do this, you can see it is smaller. So how do you change that? All you need is just to write your style is equals to font size, and you write the size. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see how it's written?
Yes.
No, I need you to take notes because this is going to be your assignment. Let me even put it in the text. So that is how you are going to write it in your assignment. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and make it 60. Right. So if I run it, see, is way bigger. All right. So you can also do the same thing for paragraphs as well. I mean, if I come here, let me write this. Let me copy it and put it with a paragraph, right? So this is, let me come here. So this is a paragraph, right? So I can try to say style, and this is called inline CSS. I hope I got that right. Style is equal to, I open my quotation mark, font size. All right, I put a, what's this sign called? A column sign. and then I put, let's say I want to make it 40px, the size 40px. Then I put a semicolon and also close it with, you see, I wrote it just like the way they wrote the one on top here. See, it's like this, is exactly. Now, if I run this, you can see the size of the paragraph here, right? Now, let me run this. You see, it's now bigger. Do we understand?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Because Olaoluwa, you're going to write a paragraph about yourself with a heading. All right. I am going to make the font, the H1 to be font size of 60. I am going to make the paragraph to be a font size of 30. Do you understand the assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
What did I
Ma,
say?
if he does not understand, can me or help him?
Yes, please. That's why I'm not giving you an assignment, so that you can help him.
Okay.
All right. So that's why the assignment is only for him. And I'll still give you the link to download it. You just copy it from the chat box. Right? All right. So let me see what I can still squeeze into it. Mhm. So we've talked about paragraphs. What is paragraphs? All right, so paragraphs. We've talked about paragraphs. Now let me tell you the funny things about paragraph. Let me see here. So this paragraph contains a lot of lines in here, but the browser is going to ignore it. So there's a lot of space. Do you understand? So what they did was that, let me just give you an example of what they did. They wrote it here, and maybe they wrote this paragraph, and they kept a lot of space. They put space until they got to under it, and they wrote, oh, sorry, and they wrote contains a lot of lines. But the browser is going to ignore it. If I run this again, you see, it added it. This paragraph contains it, but it did not give it this space. The same with this too. It did not see. So no matter how much space you try to put in between, it's going to be appearing normal to the browser. Do you understand? The only way it will not apply normal to the browser, if I put a BR now, a line break here, we've talked about this before. If I do this now and I run it like this, that is when it will break to bring this one to the second line. Do we understand? So you can write a paragraph anyhow you want to write it. Most times it will not be showing all those extra space. It will come out normal. Do we understand?
Yes.
All right. No problem. So that's the thing about paragraphs that you should know. I already taught you about the HR. I taught you about BR and I taught you about HR. I said HR is to draw lines like this. You can see after the heading and the paragraph, they'll draw a line. Heading, paragraph, they'll draw a line. See? After this heading, this paragraph, they'll draw a line. After this heading, this paragraph, they'll draw a line. All right? So this is it. It's very straightforward, very simple. Okay? Very good. We have talked about BR is just to put line breaks. So I think I'm going to stop here for now. All right, let me go and find the link to download your the link to download the VS Code. I hope I can remember it. Let me try to search for it here. VS Code Okay. Hopefully I can find it. Is Olaoluwa using a different system?
Yes.
Okay. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So this should be pretty much straightforward. So Inoluwa, because you are the eldest, I'm going to give you help him download it. So you can see where they say download for Windows, right? You can see
Yeah.
here. So you just click on that and download for Windows. Let me put it here. So I just did a quick reminder, revision for the sake of Olaoluwa. So his assignment, and I'm not giving Ore and any assignment because I want you to help him with this assignment. But starting from tomorrow, everybody will get assignment.
Okay.
So what you are going to do, where's that place? Okay, it's somewhere around here. So what you're going to do, you can see, you also show him how to put the picture. Oh, what is this? Okay, that's how it is. So you can see this place. You can see a picture on top, and then you can see a paragraph about the person. You can also see these two lines like this, these two HR lines. So this is going to be in Olaoluwa's assignment. I mean, Olaoluwa's assignment. You're going to upload a picture, and then you're going to write a paragraph about yourself in between two lines. Do we understand?
Yes.
Please, can you repeat that assignment to me again?
You said that Ola should put a line before the paragraph. Then should put a body about himself. Then you should close it with a line. Then
Yes,
a
a
picture
paragraph
of him.
also. Yes, you must do it in VS Code. So please make sure he downloads VS Code, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Ma, please, I want to copy the link.
Excuse me, ma, can I go? Or Oluwa?
Wait now. Wait, Inoluwa, what did you say?
I said I want to copy the link.
What link is that?
The link for the download.
Okay, please copy it. So does anybody have any question for me? Any question?
No.
That's all right.
Yes, ma.
All right. Maybe I should allow you guys to go.
Okay, ma, I'm done copying.
Have you copied it?
Yes.
Try downloading it now. Let me see it. Try doing it now. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see if it's giving you any problem. So I'm waiting to know if it's giving you any problem. Then we can now go.
Ma, I want to click on it.
All right, click on it.
No, it's downloading now.
It's downloading, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can go. Thank you all and see you guys tomorrow. Do your homework. Oh.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Yeah.
Bye, Ma.
Bye.